Hi guys. Okay, so EGD day, it was a success. Um, no discomfort. They said you could have sore throat. They said you could have upset stomach. I was immediately hungry afterwards, so we got some Chick-fil-A on our way back and I was able to hold everything down. My main discomfort is like from just right here in the middle on my esophagus. It feels like heartburn almost, but without heartburn. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a kind of ache. No sore throat. I'm a little groggy from the anesthesia. The procedure was super simple. Got in there, checked in within a couple hours, and meeting the anesthesiologist and the doctor. We were back there. I had an IV. You would just flip onto your side. They put this mouth bite in, and then you're out in a couple minutes. They're done. I guess the procedure is about 15 minutes. They go in and peek around. My EGD results were everything looks great except I have a small hernia on the opening of my esophagus on the inside. So because it hasn't ruptured through, nothing has gone through. I haven't been getting the heartburn side effects that you would normally get with this kind of a situation. But eventually it would have gotten there. So it's a benefit of getting the surgery done anyways, because they just go in and fix it before it becomes a problem. Everything else is fine, and it actually makes me a better candidate for the surgery that I want, which is the gastric bypass surgery. Because if you have a hernia issue up there and you get a sleeve, it becomes this chute that's going to give you some serious acid reflux. So I think the doctor and I are finally on the same page of what I should do. They really are pushing for the sleeve. Because I'm only 31. And because of that, I'm very young, and they think that as long as I make the lifestyle changes, that I can be a success story with the sleeve. But I just didn't feel comfortable with the sleeve. Like I said, with gastric bypass, you have to give up all anti-inflammatory medications. There's a lot more that you have to make sure it completely bypasses your stomach, so you're not absorbing as much. You're at more of a risk for malnutrition, so you have to be careful. But I'm willing to do those things, and my reasoning behind being so preferential to the gastric bypass versus the sleeve is the gastric bypass has very long-term studies that show long-term success, whereas the sleeve has recently become more popular but doesn't have as many long-term successes. Not that it's not a success, just more research hasn't been done compared to the gastric bypass. They consider the gastric bypass the gold standard, apparently, because people who fail with the gastric sleeve, if they go back and get it redone, which insurance doesn't cover, most insurances don't cover, if you go to get the gastric bypass, oh, yes, that's what I was saying. The gastric sleeve, the fix for the gastric sleeve is getting a gastric bypass. You can get a re-sleeve, but often they switch it to a bypass. So it is just preferential for me. I want a gastric bypass. Like I said, also have a sweet tooth. And now it's not that I don't think I'm going to make these life changes that I need to make. In the long run, I just might need that negative feedback. You get this thing called dumping syndrome, and it is exactly what it sounds like. If you put something too sweet or whatever the case may be, or something your body just does not agree with, it is coming out, and it's coming out now. So that negative feedback from my body, I think, will deter me very much from reintroducing naughty foods into my diet. Anyways, as far as my surgery goes, tomorrow I meet with the doctor. We solidify what is my surgery and when it is going to be. If my EGD comes back positive for the bacteria that they're looking for, because they take 2 little biopsies, if that's the case, they will give me an antibiotic for 2 weeks and then do the surgery. So it's not that big of a deal because it looks like that's the timeline we're looking at anyways. This is early July now. I'm hoping to beg him for a little bit earlier if I don't have I wanted the last week of June, but I will settle with the first week of July. It's not that big of a difference, but I'm very excited to get started. I'm not necessarily excited for the starving for a week beforehand part, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be fine. So stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow to discuss what is happening and when. Thanks for keeping up, and I hope this helps somebody out there that is going through the same thing and wondering what the hell an EGD is and how that experience is going down. So thank you guys. Bye.